Welcome to the Build Chronicle. Today, we journey to Karnataka's western coast, where development is stirring amid fishermen's boats and coastal forests. This is the story of Keni Port, a proposed greenfield, all-weather deep-sea port in Karnataka, designed to handle Cape-size vessels and transform India's western maritime corridor. As of August 2025, the project is gaining critical momentum, but its path is not without controversy. Join us as we explore its design, stakeholders, progress, challenges, and significance. Keni Port is a proposed deep-sea commercial port situated near Keni village in Kannada district, Karnataka, landing roughly 8 kilometers from Ankola railway station and about 5 km from National Highway 66. In 2016, AECOM prepared a techno-economic feasibility report for a deep-sea port in the Bellakeri region, later realigned by Karnataka Maritime Board, KMB, to Keni in 2022. On November 16, 2023, KMB awarded the Letter of Award, LOA, to JSW Infrastructure subsidiary, Masad Infra Services, to develop the port under a public-private partnership, PPP, model for a capex of 4,119 Indian rupees crore. The port is envisaged as an all-weather, multi-cargo, direct berthing, deep-water commercial port estimated to handle 30 million tons per annum, MTPA, in the initial phase, with future scalability up to 56 MTPA. Keni's location is strategic. It bridges Mormugao Port in Goa to the north and New Mangalore Port in Karnataka to the south, both nearly saturated. Its hinterland includes the industrial heartland of Karnataka, Bellary, Hosapete, Hubballi, Kalaburaji, and connects to South Maharashtra's industrial belt. The port is designed to facilitate commodities freight such as coal, coke, iron ore, limestone, dolomite, and finished steel, key inputs for cement, steel, and power generation industries. KMB's prospective plan anticipates cargo demand in Karnataka scaling from 44 MTPA to 117 MTPA by 2035, leaving a large capacity gap that Keni aims to fill. Keni Port's initial phase envisions artificial harbor with protective breakwaters. Harbor and maneuvering basin depths up to 14.5 to 16.5 meters, enabling Cape-size vessel access, approximately 200,000 DWT. Approach channel, approximately 7.3 kilometers in length, 16.1 meters deep, and 150 meters wide. Berth infrastructure includes dedicated terminals for containers, multipurpose cargo, and dry bulk. Land will be reclaimed for yard space and logistics functions. Connectivity. The port is 5 kilometers from NH 66 and 8.2 kilometers from Ankola station on the Konkan Railway. A proposed 8-kilometer rail alignment links the port to the railway network. The plan anticipates modern, mechanized terminals that are environment-friendly and capable of handling Cape-size vessels, improving logistics efficiency. As of August 2025, the LOA was awarded in November 2023, and JSW began feasibility studies immediately thereafter. However, major earthworks and construction are pending environmental approvals and local coordination. Projected commissioning of Phase 1 is over a 4-year period, potentially becoming operational by late 2027 or 2028. Keni's development hasn't proceeded quietly. Environmental concerns include the destruction of Keni's pristine beach, coral ecosystems, mangrove vegetation, and disruption to breeding zones for local marine species. Dredging and reclamation are seen as major threats. The region supports estuarine and freshwater species, including 12 mangrove varieties, plus zooplankton and phytoplankton ecosystems, now at risk. Ecologists warn that turbidity and habitat loss could impact biodiversity and the coastal food chain for decades. Fisherfolk from Keni Bavikari, who rely on the beach for livelihood, have protested against geotechnical surveys. In February 2025, hundreds gathered on site. Some attempted entering the sea in protest, prompting police deployment and Section 144 orders. Local leaders and environment groups emphasize community consultation, livelihood safeguards, and impact mitigation precede construction. Keni Port's development involves multiple stakeholders: Karnataka Maritime Board, the project authority facilitating planning, regulation, and PPP framework, JSW Infrastructure and Massad Infra Services, the concessionaire tasked with project development, local communities and fisherfolk, the most immediate and vocal stakeholders, concerned about livelihood and ecology. Environmentalists and NGOs, advocating for due diligence, EIA transparency, and biodiversity protection, district. Administration, mediating between local protests, permissions, and state directives, and the state government, backing Keni as part of Karnataka's port-led development strategy under Sagarmala and Gati Shakti. If completed, Keni Port could drive direct coastal infrastructure jobs and long-term port operations employment. Logistics efficiencies for regional industries in steel, cement, minerals, and chemicals. Cargo throughput growth in central and northern Karnataka and reduced pressure on Mormugao and New Mangalore ports. Potential development of warehousing, export processing, and coastal shipping channels. However, success depends on completion of environmental approvals, creation of road, rail connectivity, and reliable cargo inflow. Keni Port's future paths include, success scenario, clearances obtained, community consultation succeed, capital construction proceeds, railway link built, and port commences Phase 1 operations by 2028. Stalled outcome, environmental litigation stalls works, protests delay surveys, and construction is indefinitely postponed. Partial delivery, a smaller operational port with limited berths opens but lacks full connectivity or cargo throughput, limiting economics. Each outcome shapes Keni's role in Karnataka's growth. Keni Port fits into India's broader goals, enhancing coastal infrastructure under Sagarmala and Gati Shakti. Bridging cargo gaps and creating a multiport ecosystem on the west coast. Supporting multimodal routes and reducing transportation costs for inland producers. Providing a model for PPP-led, greenfield port expansion in regulated, environmentally sensitive contexts. Keni Port is Karnataka's bold maritime leap, blending strategic freight needs with development. But its future hinges on balancing ambition with responsibility. If done sensitively and inclusively, Keni can chart new economic pathways for its communities. If not, it risks becoming a cautionary story of top-down planning in fragile coastal zones. Thank you for watching the Build Chronicle. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We bring you insights into India's infrastructure transforming